So, I want to talk about something that maybe I've talked about before, but I just don't remember. So, first of all, hi everyone. I just started in with this video without even telling y'all hi. Don't know why I did that. But anyway, if you don't know who I am an unpublished author, and I already make videos, daily vlogs, things like that, under another name. This is just a pen name that I am using for when I get published or anything like that. So that is in fact my writing name. Anyway, welcome to my channel. And okay, so let's go back to what we were talking about. What I'm talking about is that I belong to this group called Readers and Writers on Facebook. Some of you might belong to them. I don't know. I don't know your life. Maybe you don't. But if you don't, someone added a post into this group the other day that was talking about this site that was allowing people to illegally post authors' books that I guess have already been published. That's my guess. And this person was telling the authors to go have their books removed. And I was saying, down in the comments that sometimes disabled people will do this because they can't afford to outright buy the book, and the book is just not accessible in the formats that they need it to be. So, for example, people with dyslexia might like to highlight certain words in your book to make it easier for them to read, but certain apps don't allow you to highlight text. And so my suggestion was that authors add their books to Bookshare or allow people to email them and just be like, hey, look, I can't afford this book. I really want to read this book. May I have a copy of this book? Okay, that was my suggestions. I wasn't overly mean about it. I'm one of those people that's like, if you want my book, you can have my book. But this person was like, yeah, that's what ARCs are for. That's what book reviews are for. And that's true, and that's great. But also, here's another thing, too. Not everyone is good at writing reviews. Not everyone is good at writing, period. There are disabilities that make it hard or impossible for people to write, even if they are typing on a keyboard. Yes, there is software that you can speak into and it will write for you, but a lot of times the words are incorrect, or the complete wrong word, or it is spelled differently, or some other version of incorrect. I have a friend who uses Dragon Naturally Speaking, and she's constantly talking about how awful it is and how many times it's gotten words wrong and she's had to go back and fix them. And she actually has a physical disability that prevents her from typing college type papers. So she uses Dragon Naturally Speaking. I use Dictate on my phone and Siri. And those are two completely different things. I guess they're kind of interconnected, but Siri is different because Siri can talk to you, and Dictate just writes out what you say. And even those two things will write words that I never said, that I never wanted to write. It will misspell words that I know how to spell. It will put periods where I didn't say to put a period. It will put a comma where I didn't say to put a comma. So those aren't always an option for people. And then you have to think too about the people who have physical disabilities and are also nonverbal. How are they going to write a review? And some people just don't want to write reviews because they don't know what to write. So, the other suggestion that I suggested was that people add their books to Bookshare, and if you don't know what Bookshare is, if you're an author who is just watching this video for the very first time and you don't know what Bookshare is, it is an online lending library where members can pay, I think it is like $50 a year, and they get access to all the books that are put on Bookshare, including textbooks, magazines, newspapers, musical scores, anything like that that's put on Bookshare, they can have access to. Now, it's free if you're a student, and the grant comes from the Department of Education through the special education department. So you actually have to prove A, that you're a student, and B, that you have a disability. You have to provide documentation that you are in some type of school, college, high school, a different kind of school, trade school is what I'm thinking of. And you have to provide proof that you are blind or dyslexic or otherwise print disabled. And if you can prove that, then you will get a free membership for a year. And every year, you'll have to renew this membership. It is a great opportunity for authors to get their books read because people use Bookshare all the time. Bookshare has its own app called Read to Go, and you can download audio versions, braille versions. You can even download large print versions. You can download versions that are highlighted or that you can highlight. You can also use Voice Dream Reader, which is an app where you can play the books. And this is a great thing. This would solve so many problems, and I honestly wish more memberships with Bookshare are free. I wish it worked more like a regular library where you could get like a virtual library card and then just pay like $5 or $10 every year and then like renew your card, or however libraries work. I haven't used an actual library in years, so I might be wrong about that. But it's a great opportunity for authors to get their books out there, because until I started writing and investigating, side note, I write gay fiction, so if this makes anyone uncomfortable, you can skip this part. But until I started writing gay fiction, I didn't know how many authors were out there that actually write it. And I didn't know that because at the time I didn't have Bookshare. And there are so many of my friends who also didn't have Bookshare who had no idea that these kinds of books existed. I'm still finding people who have no idea that this genre of books exists. I understand that there's limitations, so apparently if you are published with Amazon, Amazon is not allowing the authors to publish their books on Bookshare, which should be a huge, gigantic lawsuit in my opinion, because they are violating Public Law 142. I think it's Public Law 142-379. You would think I would know this because NLS used to have the announcement all the time. But anyway, point is, they are violating a law which says that you can obtain books in different formats as long as they are used for blind and disabled people. Anyway, back to where this video started. So basically, a lot of disabled people, because they can't afford the book, they don't have Amazon, or they don't want Amazon for whatever reason, or they don't have the capabilities that they need in order to read the books. A lot of times they will illegally download the books. I'm not saying that illegally downloading books is right or wrong, but I am one of those people that if I know I'm going to read a book over and over and over and over, I will eventually purchase it. But if I don't know if I like a book, I'm probably just going to go find it on Bookshare or some other site and read it that way, and if I can't, then I just won't read it. Now, that being said, I know a lot of people who will illegally download books because they don't know if they like them, and if they like them, then they'll buy them. I think that more authors should give free copies of their books to people who email them and explain why they can't afford them. I can't afford books because I am a full-time college student, and my $200 that would normally go for books actually goes for textbooks instead. So I definitely can't afford books. I get where these people are coming from. I also get where these authors are coming from, because it would be extremely frustrating to have a book published and then not have people buying it because they are illegally downloading it. And I'm not defending that practice at all. I'm just saying that there are reasons that some people are illegally downloading books. And if you really put yourself in their situation, instead of judging them, maybe you'll understand why. Because I used to think that downloading books illegally was really stupid until I couldn't afford books, and then I was like, how do I read this book? What do I do? Anyway, that's all I got for y'all today. Let me know if y'all have an opinion about this. I'd really like to know what it is. Obviously, leave it down in the comments. Like my Facebook page, it is Steph Surratt Books. My Patreon and my Twitter are both Stephanie Surratt, or Steph Surratt. You can find all of these on my YouTube page below the About section and down in the description below. You can also email me at stephsurrattbooks@gmail.com, and you can find that in the About section of my YouTube page and down in the description as well. And I will see y'all next time. Bye guys! I really should come up with an intro and outro, right?